Welcome to Lifestyle by Sima, and I'm so excited you're here. I work with the energy of spaces and energizing environments that we live and work in, which directly affect our mindset, emotions, relationship, and our success. So through Feng Shui and intentional design, I help people transform their spaces so they just don't look good, but they actually support the life they want to live. This podcast is about awareness, alignment, and understanding that your space is never neutral. It's either lifting you up or holding you back. Today, we're diving into how shifting your environment can create powerful shifts within you. Did you know your space is speaking to you? And the question is, are you listening? People change jobs, partners, and even cities, but somehow they keep repeating the same patterns of dissatisfaction and stagnancy. And the real question is, what if it's not you? What if it's the environment? And what if it's the energy in the surroundings that is holding you back and keeping you stuck? Now, the golden question. What is energy? Energy is the vibe or frequency that your space holds. It's the feeling a space gives you and how it affects your emotions, the decisions, and your life. So think about it. A room can feel calm or chaotic. A person can feel warm or cold. A place can feel heavy or light. That feeling is energy. When you walk into a room, you're not just seeing furniture. You're feeling the history, the intention, and the emotions that are stored in that space. And today, we have a very special guest joining us who's going to talk about energy. She's the queen of Vastu, the energy expert who can literally feel the vibe of a room the second she walks in. Please welcome Anamika, my partner in crime when it comes to shifting energy and creating spaces that feel alive. Anamika, we're about to drop some serious space magic today. So tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Hi, Sima. Thank you for having me here. And I'm an energy healer, a Vastu expert. It's been more than 8 years I'm into my practices. I am a psychic medium, and as you have said, that energy is everything. That is what I have always been doing, like more than 8 years of my life. The moment you enter anywhere, it is always the energy of the person. It is always the energy of the space, for sure. I would say that energy is the driving wheel of our life. We cannot do anything if we are not centered in the energy, if you're not doing things right.
I agree with you 100%. So if you're not aligned with your own inner energy and your environment, you're somewhere disconnected.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that honestly, that creates a lot of fogginess in your life. But okay, so what brought you into this whole life of energy, wanting to heal people through like energy? Like what brought you to this?
Like Sima, I personally believe that this work is such that you are no one to choose this work. You have to be the chosen one. I feel grateful, definitely. Like I was always a psychic. Yes, I realized it little later, but then I was always connected to the energies of the people. Like I would have some friend in the school or in the college. The moment I'll meet them, I will exactly know what is going on within them. Not the words they are telling me, but actually what the thoughts are. It took me time to actually get on the journey completely, but then here I am.
That is so interesting. Like walking into a space, meeting people, and just knowing that there's something not right with them, right? Yeah, you could feel the chaos. I can totally resonate with that because through this journey, every time I come across somebody, again, I mean, not everybody that you come across or you encounter or you have just meet along the way, do you connect with?
True.
You know, there's going to be certain people that you're going to meet and you're going to feel like, I don't know, it just didn't feel good, right? And then there's going to be certain people you're going to meet and you're like, oh my God, why didn't I meet her earlier? Why does it feel like I've known her forever or known him forever? That's all energy, right?
Yeah.
And I guess when you're on this spiritual journey or on the soul journey, I think that's just your soul recognizing another soul. And if you're in the same frequency, your energies align, then it just feels like there's a commonality, I guess, right? And you feel this deep connection then.
That's so true. Like it's like meeting somebody for the first time. I would say that when I met you first, The moment you entered, I still remember that connection I felt with you in the same spot, in the same timeline, that I knew you. Because it is always like that. It is not that we are meeting for the first time. In this lifetime, it can be the first time, but it is the energy that we are carrying from the past lifetimes, and that's how either we feel connected or we feel disconnected. Because
Yes.
sometimes it's just like, it can be your partner, it can be your spouse, it can be your kid also, but you feel disconnected. You do not feel aligned with their energy, and that's, I mean, it says all about that.
Yeah, I think that's the energy of resonance. Like you can just resonate with
Yes.
energy, right? I remember when I walked into your space and how I connected with you. So I just wanted to let everybody know, when I went to see Anamika for the first time, it wasn't for Vastu. Today we're going to be talking about energy and energizing spaces and how it affects you as a person, like your environment is you, and we are our surroundings. But I went to see Anamika for a different service, which was tarot. And slowly, we've known each other for almost, 2.5 years now. It's been a beautiful journey. But through tarot, I got closer to her. I've tried most of her services, but what really aligned with my background was her doing Vastu Shastra and me doing Feng Shui. And they are both holistic techniques towards creating a positive energy flow within your space. What we do is we come in and we just offer subtle solutions into your spaces, which can get stagnant energy moving, which can transform the energy of your space for you to feel better and live a better lifestyle. So today we're going to listen to some stories that Anamika is going to share along the way on how energy has actually healed people in their lives. And I will share stories with you telling you how energy has brought wealth into people's lives. And it's actually magical. So I'm going to talk to Anamika. Oh, actually, I'm going to ask Anamika to share a bit about how she implements Vastu in people's lives and what do they actually feel? Like, how does it shift the energy within them and in their spaces?
So Sima, when it comes to the term Vastu, people always feel that it's a very specific term. Vastu is all about directions, moving things, shifting things, sometimes breaking things, sometimes reconstructing them. Vastu is not only about that. Vastu is like when you go to a certain space, if the energy of the space is not correct, then even the Vastu is not going to work, that's for sure. I'll just share one of the stories. So one of my clients, she was into the process of healings with me. I was doing her healings. I was doing the healing for her space as well. But her business was not picking up. That drew me to a question that what is there that is going wrong here, why it is not picking up well. So, okay, we made a Vastu visit to her place. Now, what I saw was there is in the southwest direction, she had kept an earthen pot, that too of black color. Now, when you are keeping black color in the southwest direction, which is the direction of your income, which is the direction of money flow, you're keeping a black color pot there, it's going to block the energy. And the moment we removed it and replaced it with the color of that direction, things start moving for her within a week. So Vastu, when it complements with the energy, the kind of work that you, that's so beautiful, like Feng Shui, it complements the work.
100, yeah.
Right. So that is what Vastu is. It's not only about directions, it's not only about colors, it's about so many other things, definitely inculcating with energy.
That's amazing. So just a little bit of insight about Feng Shui. We work with the Bagua, and the Bagua has 9 sections to it.
Yes.
So health is one, relationships is another, love is another one, health is another one, business and success is another corner. So there's 9 corners altogether. And what we do in Feng Shui is we go in and we enhance those corners to start getting energy moving. So when clients approach me, the first question I want to know from them is, what is it in your life that drew you to me? Like, why would you like to incorporate Feng Shui into your life? How much do you know about it? And is there something lacking in your life in any of those areas, which is why you felt drawn to making this change or bringing in this positive impact, right? And a lot of times, most of the clients, it could be 3. My top 3, honestly, have been, I want to bring more money into my life, success, and I'm looking for a life partner, or our relationship. And the third one is, I'm not doing so well health-wise. And what can I do? I want to shift the energy in my space because I feel like my energy is not working for me, right? Now, is that the same in Vastu? Like, I know in Feng Shui, we work with elements. Every area of the Bagua has its own designated element. We go in and we enhance those elements. There's feeding elements that we can actually enhance to feed the element of that space. How is Vastu and the techniques different from Feng Shui?
Okay. To be honest, Seema, if I would be saying that they are totally different techniques, that would be wrong. Because Vastu is definitely about directions, but it is also about the elements. If the element of some space is disturbed, or let's say the element of that space is just not being fed properly, it is not going to give you results. Vastu is about directions. It is about putting the right colors in the right directions, because colors are then definitely related to our astrological charts, our numerological numbers and everything. If everything is not in sync, it is not going to help. If everything is in order, like the color, the number, the direction, it's going to give you amazing results. It also leads me to a question, Seema, that how did Feng Shui enter your life? I think I never asked you this in these 2.5 years, though I know you're doing a brilliant work for sure.
Feng Shui, thank you. I appreciate the appreciation. Feng Shui entered my life, oh gosh, I'd like to say about 18 years ago. I was drawn to it because I was always interested in Vastu. That's so funny. So I was interested in Vastu, but I just felt like back then there were no online courses, right? So I just felt it would be a little bit of a challenge to travel to India to do this course. So I was like, okay, what can I do that can bring and change energy in people's spaces, considering being a designer? Like, how can I go in there and intentionally and consciously add value to their spaces through subtle shifts, right? I do that today with furniture and through home accents and whatnot, and we incorporate the Feng Shui elements through those things. So it could be through your decorative items. But what led me to that was, I think, the shift within me is what led to Feng Shui, and which led to this this deep desire seeking energy. Like, what is energy? And I don't know why I was drawn to it. I don't know, but Vastu was the first thing I was drawn to, which led me to Feng Shui. And for my Feng Shui course, I traveled to the States and I did my course out of Denver. And it's been amazing because even though I'm doing an interior design project, if the client asks for Feng Shui or not, it's just habitual within me that I apply the principles that I have learned, just because the intention is I want my clients to feel happy in their space. And I believe Vastu and Feng Shui, no matter what the techniques are or what the solutions are, which I feel like they're probably the same or very, very similar, the intention is the same, right? Is to create a positive energy flow in the space. Whoever's living in that space should feel aligned to their space, right? And just raising the vibration and the frequency of that space so they just feel better, because energy isn't tangible, right?
So it's everything. It's everything.
Yeah. So tell me, in your journey, how has Vastu healed people emotionally? We're in a world today where you hear about depression, relationships failing, people just not feeling so good, not feeling so confident. How can Vastu or fixing the Vastu of their space help them on an emotional level?
Okay. So when it comes to emotional level, basically Southwest is the zone for our relationships. So now, like during a visit, when I visited somebody's house, what they have done was they have put the pictures of all the deceased ones, their ancestors, on the Southwest wall. Now, when you're putting a picture there who's no more here in the physical world, you are basically hanging with the dead energy in all respect. But the thing is, when you're putting anything which is not alive there, you're blocking the energy of rest of the relationships of your life. So that's how, like, when we cleared that energy, when we had put something different there which is alive, that helped maintaining the harmony in the relationship. And same way, like there are different directions in Vastu and you're aware of it. Northeast, if we talk about, is the direction of your money. If you're putting something there which is not aligning with the energy of money, you're going to block the energy of your money for sure. I mean, in all these years of experience, I have seen so many cases there where people would just put something there which is not right as per the direction, no matter even if it is the most beautiful piece of art or furniture you're putting there, not the right color, not the right direction, it's going to block the energy for sure. So removing those things. And also I would like to say, Sima, because through you, like a lot of people would be knowing about it, this is a myth that northeast direction, if you're having anything which is out of alignment there, it is going to bring your bank balance into a zero figure. It happens, it does, but there are ways we can always clear the energy. There are ways we can always, align the things so that it works for people. You do not have to demolish the northeast area if you're having your bathroom there or your kitchen there or your laundry there. So this is something that I want to tell people, that you don't have to break down everything. If some of the thing is there in your northeast, they can always be fixed.
Okay, so that's quite insightful, because honestly, I had this notion in my head that Vastu requires, for you to remove and redo, right? But I didn't know that you can actually just do subtle shifts to transform the space in an intentional way, which is great. Feng Shui does the same thing. So I'll share with you. In your money corner, so if you place the bagua on your floor plan, and in the money corner, if you have a toilet or a sink or any kind of drainage that drains your money. So when people come to me and say, well, money's leaking, I'm not able to save anything, I'm not able to retain my earnings. That's the first thing I look at when I walk into their space, is like, oh my goodness, that corner has a bathroom. So the advice or the solution that we offer in Feng Shui is not to tear down your bathroom, right? I'm not going to say remove the toilet or remove the sink, but rather we have solutions to implement to kind of eliminate that negative energy of, the bathroom, and how we can like dim that energy and add in and enhance that space with the energy that it's supposed to have, which is obviously like element related. So whatever the element of that corner is. So the wealth corner element is wood. So we would go in and we would add wood element as much as we can. And to feed that wood element, we would add water element to it. And that should fix, or actually like that would be the solution for that drainage, and start to get money flowing through your life. So is Vastu kind of similar when it comes to solutions? Like when we work with those elements, a wood element could be as simple as, let's add a plant to your space. Or if we want to enhance with water, let's add a water fountain to that space, or the color of water, or a photo of water flowing and pooling. So is Vastu similar when it comes to solutions?
Okay, Seema, so I'll take this example only, like when you're putting the water element in the north direction. So the color here that you have just said, that if you're just adding a plant to it, you're adding the wood element, you're adding green color in the northeast direction, that is the color of that direction. So it is somehow similar to Feng Shui. And then when you're adding the right color at the right direction, you are basically doing the Vastu of that space. And let's say in the northeast direction, now you're putting a color of fire there, you're putting red color there, you're putting black color there, you're putting any dark brown color, gray color there. They are not the colors of that zone. So when you're doing that, you are basically spoiling the Vastu of that space.
That makes sense. So I know that the reputation corner or the fame corner in Feng Shui is fire. So we enhance that with colors of red and orange or purple. But if you happen to have a water feature or anything water related in that area, you're burning out that fire. So that's when you're going to notice in your life that, you know what, my relationships aren't working out, my reputation seems to be on the line all the time, people talk behind my back, or whatever. So that could happen because you probably have a water element in your fire corner, right?
Yeah, that's so true. That's true. And even if when it comes to health, Seema, so a lot of this thing also, whenever I'll be, going for the Vastu to different people, what they'll do is they'll put their medicines. Now, when I say medicines, I'm talking about the medicines of any sort of ailments, not your supplements.
Okay.
So they are different, right? And when you're putting those medicines in some specific, let's say even in Northeast, because Northeast is the zone to enhance. So when you're going to put medicines in the Northeast zone, and especially when they are uncovered, they are seen, they are visible, because that is one thing I see whenever I go for a Vastu visit. They'll just display the medicines as if it is something to be displayed, but it is not. You're not happy having those, medicines for the ailments. You should always keep them covered. And Northeast is not the zone to keep your medicine.
That's interesting. Let me think. What is the Northeast zone of my home? Yeah, okay, there's no medication there, but okay, that's so interesting. And you're right, because the more you constantly look at something that isn't bringing you any kind of positivity, is somewhere going to manifest a negative problem within you, right? So like they say, we are our environment, our surroundings are us, right? So if our surroundings are negative, or if we don't have them in alignment with what we want or what we're wanting to manifest, then obviously we're disconnected, right? With our environment.
Because subconsciously we are looking at it, we are telling ourselves that we are not healthy, I'm having this medicine, I have to have this medicine every day. It's a constant message. And also as a healer, you're creating that energy in your aura.
Yeah.
You're creating that energy in your energy field that you're not healthy. You have to have this medicine. They should not be displayed. They should not be in Northeast zone.
That's what they say. So I'm a grand manifester. So in manifestation, they say, if there's something that you deeply desire, you need to put a picture of that.
Absolutely.
So if you have medications in an area which are constantly going to remind you that you're not well, you're just going to keep manifesting more and more like sickness, right?
True. And a lot of the
That's so interesting.
Okay. And a lot of the things like, these are very simple Vastu remedies, simple shifts in the environment, your houses, your spaces, your businesses also. I mean, you can really, really see miraculous results just by doing little shifts, because people are really skeptical about Vastu. They're sometimes scared, like if they're calling a Vastu expert, so now that person is going to bring a lot of losses, in the sense like the person is going to tell you to remove this, to demolish this, to reconstruct this, but no, it's not that. We can always balance, we can always change the colors, and we can always, re-energize the space as per your Vastu chart, as per the Vastu chart that we follow for everybody.
I love that. So we're not tearing down any walls here, guys. So don't get scared. Vastu shouldn't bring fear into your life. Neither should Feng Shui. It's not about you tearing down any walls or you removing anything or us asking you to do any kind of a renovation. But it's just honestly very mindfully done, consciously done, small little solutions, happy solutions that bring in the positive results, right? True. And then they make a big impact in your life, and you can see your life like transform.
Absolutely.
Honestly, I would say it's like magic. But there's one catch here. So Feng Shui, Vastu, or any kind of energizing will not work for you if you don't believe in it.
That's so true.
So again, now that your environment depends on your energy as well. So if you believe in it, it will absolutely work for you because it'll manifest, right? But if you don't believe in it, you're blocking whatever changes you're making to your environment, you're going to block it.
Absolutely.
Right?
It's like a mirror.
Yes.
You are the magnetic being, you are the energy channel, and then your energy is your energy, your environment is your energy space. If your energy is blocked, your environment energy is definitely going to be blocked. If your environment energy is blocked, your energy is going to be blocked. It's like a mirror image. So it is very important to keep your energy clear along with the energy of your environment.
Very well said. So, I go into houses sometimes, people call me in and I walk into a space, and I kid you not, some spaces I walk in and it is so deeply cluttered. They'll have leftover laundry, dirty socks, dirty dishes. Their table won't be wiped down. There's going to be dust everywhere. And then they come to me wondering why they're not happy in their home and in their life.
Yes.
Like why aren't they able to attract abundance? Mm-hmm. So that the first thing there is, what is going wrong in that picture? You can't live with clutter. The minute you have clutter in your environment, that means your mind is cluttered.
That's
like
so
you just said, your environment is a mirror of your inner self, right? So if your environment is cluttered, right away I know your mind is so cluttered. So the first way to declutter your mind is to declutter your space.
True.
So take note of that, guys, because that's very important. That's just a neutral, energizing rule. Always keep your space decluttered.
That's so true.
Right?
That's so true. So even like sometimes whenever I make a Vastu visit, I think I've shared with you earlier also, the moment you step in and then everything is cluttered as you just said it, no matter whatever remedy you're going to give to them, no matter whatever remedy we are going to do, it's not going to work.
It's going to fail.
It's going to fail for sure, because if you're not clearing the space where you are living, none of the remedy is going to work. So, I mean, cleanliness, definitely, clutter-free space, definitely, and then comes the beautification and adding colors and everything.
That's right. And that's why they say less is more.
Yeah.
So if you have stuff lying around, put it away. You don't want to be seeing it, especially laundry and dirty dishes. So the minute you do those subtle shifts, you're going to notice a big change in your life. I'm going to share a little bit of a personal story. So before I got onto this journey about doing Feng Shui and helping others through, like, to shift their energy, I was actually living in my bedroom, and knowingly, because I had done the Feng Shui course, however, I wasn't practicing and I wasn't implementing the principles that I should have. So the story is that I was going through a little bit of a tougher time in my life mentally, and what I noticed, if I look back today, is my bedroom was so cluttered. I had those closet systems everywhere in my bedroom. I just didn't have the desire to get creative, to put stuff away or hide all that stuff. And I kept accumulating more and more and more clothes, and I didn't have spaces in my closets. And I'm like, okay, what do I do? So I started buying those portable closets, and those things are not sustainable. They last for a few months and then they start to fall over, and this is what was happening. So I was collecting all those closets and all these clothes, and I was noticing some of those were they were leaning over, falling apart, but I wasn't fixing any of that, and I wasn't mindful, and I started to notice myself slowly going into like a depressive state of mind, because I noticed that my surroundings were really affecting my mind, and I knew that, yet I didn't make a change. And I don't know why. I guess that time it wasn't my calling to do Feng Shui, but today I look back and I'm like, oh my God, a subtle shift. So then when I started to realize that I'm dipping into a depressive state of mind, and I have two choices. Either I level up and I bring a change into my life, or I start antidepressants. So I chose the first one, and I went in, I got rid of all those closet systems. I moved out extra furniture from my room. I designated a space in my room to make a closet. I separated it with dividers so I wouldn't see the clothes, but a decorative divider which looked good. So bringing in a little bit of the interior design, decluttering, creatively making my space feel and look good. And all of a sudden, I transformed. I found a new me. And I'm living like evidence of that. So I'm going to tell you, the first thing you need to do is your bedrooms have to be your heaven. I'm telling you.
That's so
like
true.
The right bedding, the right feeling, the right decor, no clutter, comfort, coziness. And one Feng Shui rule, I'm not sure if that's a rule in Vastu, but one Feng Shui rule that I would love to share with everybody is try not to have a TV in your room. And the reason for that is TV brings in a lot of noise. And the last thing you want is noise when you're trying to relax. So when you're trying to calm your mind, you're trying to have a good night's sleep, if there's chaos in your room, it's going to disturb your sleep.
Yeah.
Am I right?
That's so true, Sima. Even, thank you for sharing that. I mean, that was really, really incredible. And also, Sima, I totally agree, because the energy of your bedroom, basically you're spending your time. Your bedroom is like your heaven, as you've said. Once you're retired, like for the day, you want to come back to a space which feels aligned for you, which feels soft, which feels comfortable, and also which is energizing for you. Because you want to sleep on your bed throughout the night. Next morning, when you're going to get up with the same sort of energy
100%.
with which you have slept in. And if you're watching a TV, a crime serial, or anything, like we all are aware, you're taking those thoughts within. And also, like, I always see a lot of times people have mirror in their bedroom.
Yes.
And how they're sleeping is like they're sleeping in the direction where they're facing the mirror. Now, whatever thoughts which are there in your subconscious mind during your sleep, they're going to be there reflected in the mirror, which you cannot see tangibly, but mirrors absorb all the energy. Whenever you look at a mirror, like we look at a mirror and we see ourselves in the mirror, we leave the energy there. So when you're sleeping with the mirror in your room, especially facing your bed, you're going to definitely put that energy there. Now you move out of that room, you move out in the world, but the energy stays there. So next evening when you're coming with some different thoughts, which may be a little positive, but the negative thoughts are also hanging around there for sure. One thing, the people who have mirrors in their bedroom, so that's the Vastu remedy I give whenever I go for a visit. You can, one is like you can do sage cleansing every 15 days. The other is you can put any sticker of any deity or any symbol that you believe in on the left hand side of the mirror. That will balance the energy. Ideally, you should not have a mirror in a bedroom, but if you have and you cannot do anything about it, put the sticker or a symbol in which you believe in. It can be the symbol of a flower as well. If you have faith in that particular flower, you can just put it there on the left side of the mirror. That will balance and neutralizes the energy of that space of your bedroom.
See, isn't that interesting? Now, mirrors actually, mirrors are water.
Yes.
It's the water element,
Yes.
right? And whatever thoughts that you have, it gets absorbed.
Yes.
Water absorbs. So I'm a manifester. So I know that there's so many techniques where they say you could do water manifesting.
Yes.
So it's the same thing. If you have a mirror in your room and you have negative thoughts, or if you're watching something negative, that mirror is going to absorb it.
Yeah.
Now that becomes stagnant energy, guys. So stagnant energy is always going to weigh you down. You have to keep energy has to keep flowing at the end of the day. So that's why I say, try to avoid having a mirror, try to avoid having a TV in your room, because at the end of the day, half of your day, I'd like to say
Yes.
almost half for most people, is supposed to be in calm and in a relaxed state of mind. And if you've got chaos around you in your environment, there's no way you're going to be able to bring that peace into your into that time that where you're supposed to be resting, right? Your restful time. And then when you wake up in the morning, you're going to wake up tired and you're going to wonder why. I slept 8 hours. Why do I feel tired? It's because it's your space. It's the energy in your bedroom which is disturbed.
Yeah.
Right?
Sima, I would also like to add on one thing here. When you were sharing your journey, like of your room, that it was cluttered and everything was there. I also want to say, when the energy of a person is blocked, that means, like, as a healer, we call them chakras, like you're well aware of that. If any of your chakras, or let's say most of your chakras are blocked, you will not feel like clearing this space. So a lot of times people, they would just want to they want to clear the space, but they'll not have the energy to do that.
I had that problem.
Yes.
In my mind, I knew. I'm a Feng Shui practitioner. I knew what the solution was to fix the problem. I knew I was dipping with my moods, yet I just didn't have the urge or the desire to bring in this change, which could have totally changed things in me until, I don't know, I just had an awakening one day where I felt like, okay, I'm going to do this. Right? Because I don't want to feel this way. It was a choice, right? I didn't want to take medications. I didn't want to get depressed. And I'm like, okay, the only choice I have is to honestly level up and bring in this change. But you're right. I probably had a blocked chakra, which was holding me back.
Yeah, and when you started clearing this space, so now it's not that you're clearing only the physical space, you're clearing your aura also. You're clearing your energy also. As I said, both of the things go hand in hand, your space energy, your personal energy. When you started shifting the energy of your space, it started shifting the energy
within
you.
me. Yeah.
In you.
Yeah.
And that's how it always goes. Like when you clean the energy of a space, you'll feel better. When you're getting your space, your energy, like this physical body, the chakra energy done, healing done, you feel the urge, you feel the motivation now to keep your space clutter free.
That's amazing. And one thing I noticed in my journey is decluttering and cleaning is actually therapeutic.
Yes.
So I noticed when I started scrubbing, I started removing, I started decluttering, everything in my mind started to shift. And I'm like, oh my God, what's happening to me? Is there something wrong with me? Why do I feel like scrubbing all the time? Why do I feel like cleaning my space all the time? I didn't realize that's actually a therapy.
Yes, it is.
It's like you're removing any kind of negativity that you may have absorbed within you, within your aura as well. It's you cleansing that at the same time. I have a question for you. Because I'm still trying to understand, like from a Feng Shui point of view, when I decluttered my room, I made it look so beautiful. I felt good in it. Everything was great. But then one day I remember I walk into my room and I noticed a big crack in my window. Now I had a 3-pane window. So the crack didn't come from the outside. So like my kids were playing hockey and hit it. No, that didn't happen. Or did somebody hit the window from the inside? Any kind of impact? No. It wasn't as if something hit the window. It was more of a very defined crack. Can you explain on an energetic level where that would have come from? Because that has happened not just in my bedroom, even in one of the show homes that I designed. I opened up this beautiful show home. It was the largest show home in Edmonton. And I remember first day we had lineups, everybody coming in. Everybody was so excited. It was overwhelming. But that night we locked up, and the next day when I opened the show home, I noticed cracks in like the decorative mirrors that I had on the wall. And I still to date, okay, so what my belief is, and then tell me if I'm wrong. People come in with different intentions, different energies, different thoughts. Now, sometimes they take them with them. Most of the time they leave them behind. Now, if there's something that's bothering them in a space, and that botheration could be anywhere from, I'm jealous, which is a negative energy. They won't even know they're jealous. It's something that resides within them. That is their emotion, and they leave that emotion of jealousy behind, which shows up in a cracked mirror. So that's what I've been believing all along. But you tell me, what is the actual reasoning for mirrors cracking in your home for no reason?
So, Sima, as we have just discussed, that mirror is something that's going to absorb all the energy. So now, when you enter a space with a certain thought, now you do not have the intention of doing anything wrong with this person. It can be a family member also who really had a tough day. It can be a friend who's going through a lot of pain in his or her life. The moment they enter your space with a certain thought process, their physical bodies are going to leave that space, but their energy is definitely going to be there. So at your home, when you're saying that, the window was broken, either A, like the people who were living there at that time, they had a very disturbed energy. Some of the guests or friend, the ones who were visiting your space, they must have had a very disturbed energy. Also, somebody sitting very far away. So that also happens as one of the rarest cases, but that happens. So somebody really has to be entirely, extremely negative about you, and their energy has to be a sustained energy for a period of time. Let's say somebody is thinking negative about somebody for a week, for a month, or maybe for 6 months.
And you're talking long distance.
Long distance, yeah. You're here
anywhere.
And somebody's in America and sending you constantly negative thoughts, and you are at a very low vibration, you will absorb those thoughts.
Yes.
And your space is going to absorb those thoughts. And then in that case, we see these windows and mirrors out of nowhere. You just, get up in the morning and you see that they're cracked, they're broken. That's energy. That is why we were just, sharing in the beginning also. Mirrors should not be in the bedroom, so that whosoever is coming, and ideally, one more thing, we should not invite everybody to our bedroom.
I was just going to say that. That was going to be my next topic.
We should never do that, because whosoever is coming into your personal space is definitely going to leave some energy behind. That is why, when we go to these holy places, the moment you enter there, you'll feel a very calm energy. You'll be very much peaceful. Because now whosoever is coming there, no matter whatever they're doing outside, but nobody is going to come to a holy place and going to say, oh God, you know what? I really want bad for this person. No matter whatever you're doing outside that space, the moment you're going to be there, either you're going to pray for your good, or you're going to ask for forgiveness. So your thoughts are either positive or neutral.
Right.
So
yeah. So that means if you're going to church or if you're going to a temple, you're not going to take a negative thought with you there, right?
Absolutely.
So going back to what Anamika just said, I'm a firm believer that you shouldn't open the doors of your home for every single person, because anybody coming through the door not necessarily will always be bringing in a positive energy where they're your well-wisher and they wish well for you. So what I do in my daily practice, just sharing with everybody, is when I do happen to have to open the door for anybody, which is unintentional, not planned, and somebody does happen to just give me a surprise visit, after they leave, I have a Feng Shui lamp. And I light that Feng Shui lamp. I put camphor on top, and I light the lamp, and I leave it lit for at least 3 or 4 hours until the oil that's in the bottom of the lamp diffuses. And I'm telling you, 90% of the time, I see a cloud formation like underneath the bowl of that lamp where I put the camphor, and it's absolutely like black and very, very like musty. That right there tells me that somebody came in and left behind their negative energy.
Yeah, and they would be feeling good. When you come to a good space and when you leave that home or that space, you feel uplifted. But what you're leaving behind is your blocked energy.
Yeah, correct.
And camphor, definitely, it works wonders, because I do healings, a lot of people always coming here to the center. Of course, with all the problems and the issues, and the one that you gifted me, I remember this one.
Yeah.
I keep on lighting it all the time. And
so that Feng Shui lamp is like magic. If you really want to bring in, if you want to cleanse your space real quick, it works like magic, just like sage, but just on a little bit more of a powerful level. I'm going to share a story, and please don't feel scared, just sharing something that came on the journey, and it was a big eye-opener. So I remember attending an event at somebody's home, and I remember walking in and just not feeling good. There was about 100 people there, and it was a holy event. It was a prayer service, and I remember just not feeling very good. But anyways, I kind of ignored it. Sometimes, you know what? We feel something in our body and we completely don't listen to our body or our mind, and we're just like, okay, whatever. And I didn't listen to it. And I sat down in those 100 people, went home, didn't feel good. When I get drained, it takes me 3-4 days to come back to my normal self, right? But anyways, I found out right away after that holy service, there was another friend that had attended, and her son fell from the 3rd story of their school staircase railing on a vending machine. I was like, how absurd is that? Like, what was he doing? So I guess he was like sitting on the railing and trying to slide down the railing, and he went over the railing and his head hit the vending machine. Now, an idea that, some people may find, like some children might find, okay, that's going to give me a high, or it's cool. But what was alarming was, why would that sort of an idea come into a mature child's mind? This child was in high school. So later I found out there was another girl that attended that holy service who actually brought in apples with some holes in them. Interesting, right?
Yeah.
So the homeowner was telling me, the one that had the service, and she's just like, it's so strange. She's like, so-and-so brought me these apples, and all the apples had holes in them, and there was like 5 or 6 apples. And she goes, I didn't think much. I put them on my kitchen table, and the next day this happened to her son. So the home that these apples apparently intentionally had holes in them were brought to her. The next day her son had this accident. Anyways, long story short, what I'm trying to say is, don't receive things from others as well in your home. You don't know what kind of energy. Now, there was an element of obviously some sort of negative energy that came with those apples that was intentional to hurt somebody, right? And so another, just a rule for you guys, don't always accept like food related items from people that you don't really know or are not close to or you don't trust, because that was a huge eye opener that there's all kinds of people out there that unfortunately, are just not happy their own within their own selves, and they're looking outside of themselves to hurt somebody else's environment or their life.
True, and that's so true, Seema, because whenever we are, I mean, this was intentional and that's not right. I mean, of course, it's not right, but unintentionally also, when somebody is just cooking in their kitchen with all sort of thoughts in their mind, positive, negative, worry, then any kind of negative thought, and now when they're cooking food for you, and let's say that person is your colleague or somebody, and they bring food for you.
Oh my God, they're bringing all those emotions in the food.
And absolutely, because it is absorbing all the energy. So like a Vastu tip, that whenever you're cooking food in your kitchen, you can always play a chant, a mantra, a soothing music, anything that calms your energy, so that your food is resonating with your energy, and then whomsoever you're serving food, it carries all the energy of positivity that comes definitely from you.
And that is very powerful. So majority of the time in this busy world, when we are cooking, we've got all these files opened up in our head, right? So we're thinking, well, I got to pay the bill, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to call this person. We're always like, always scatterbrained. We don't realize when we're doing that, we're putting all that energy into the food. And then we're taking that food, either we're sharing it with others or we're actually feeding it to our own family. Yeah. So sometimes we wonder, where did health problems come from? It's that simple. Sometimes it's just those negative thoughts that goes into our food, which we actually ingest. And we don't even realize that
so
something that can be shifted mindfully or consciously is actually bringing in a negative impact into our lives, into our bodies.
So true. I'll just quickly probably share this story. I was healing this person, and I was constantly healing this man, and he had some pain in his left knee. He had pain in his left knee, and I was healing him. We were doing healings, and then it was getting better again. It was getting sore. It was getting better. It was getting sore. And then I asked for the picture of his wife to scan her energy. Now, this woman who was cooking food for her husband, definitely not with an intention that my husband should fall sick or he should have pain, but her own life story was full of lot of pain. She was going through a very tough time in her own life. She lost her dad basically, and she was putting all those emotions in the food. And when her husband was consuming that food, because her dad also had a knee issue. Now,
oh my God, I got goosebumps.
So her dad had knee issues, and now when this person is eating food, he was exactly getting the pain in the same pain. In the same knee, she was putting all the emotions unknowingly, and he was just picking up that energy. See, the source was different, and now this person unknowingly has become a host of that.
Yeah. It's honestly like manifested, but not intentionally. Unintentionally. So guys, that's something to note there. Wow. Because now I'm going to be very careful. Every time I'm cooking, I'm going to make sure I shift those thoughts.
Yes.
You know what this all boils down to? Living in the present moment.
Yes.
Being mindful of your thoughts.
Everything.
Being aware no matter what you're doing. And a simple task like cooking, that's where you gotta really level up that awareness and be mindful in that moment. You cannot be in 4 different places, and you cannot have emotions driving you at that time. So that's really important. I know you guys are having fun, and we have more stories to share with you, but we're gonna have to come back. Thank you, Anamika, for joining us. This was so much fun. I hope you enjoyed it.
Oh, I loved every bit of it, Seema. Thank you so much for having me here, and it's always so wonderful to be in your energy field, I would say that.
I really appreciate that. You know what? Your wisdom, your stories, your experiences, I'm sure everybody that's listening to this podcast is going to value, because some of these points are very subtle, small little shifts in your life, but huge impact, right?
Thank you, Seema.
If your life feels stuck, don't blame yourself. Check your space, because your environment is the silent energy that shapes your mood, your success, your relationships, and your entire life. If this podcast resonated with you, we offer personalized consultations, Anamika and I, and together, where we assess your space both energetically and practically, whether it's your home or your business. Every consult is tailored to your life and to your situation, so you can finally feel aligned, supported, and energized. And on that note, thank you so much to everyone who took the time to watch us today. And if you have any stories to share or any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments below. Until next time, may your spaces be aligned, intentional, and filled with good energy.